Hello! I figured that in honor of today's review, I would get some plastic surgery done. So, let's reveal what I look like. Okay. Oh. 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 Oh my God. What did you do? I'm hideous. Yes! Good day, everyone. I am back with another review on cultsploitation.com. And if you didn't guess already by the intro, and if you didn't read the title of the YouTube video, I am reviewing Scalpel from Arrow Video on Blu-ray. And today's review is brought to you by New Brunswick Postage from Picaroons Beer. Because I am feeling drunk. Ugh, Montana's boot. Anyways. So, as I said, I am reviewing Scalpel. It is a film by John Grissmer, who also directed Blood Rage, which was also released on Blu-ray from Arrow Video in a really awesome package. Blood Rage is actually a really good movie. Never seen it before? Definitely buy it. But anyways, I'm not talking about Blood Rage, I'm talking about Scalpel, a psychological thriller. It is not a horror film like the cover will make you think it is. It stars Robert Lansing, who you'll know from, well, personally I knew him from The Nest, which was released on Blu-ray from Scream Factory with the Beatles. But it says back here that he was in Star Trek, and he was in Alfred Hitchcock Presents, and he was also in Twilight Zone. Not sure which episodes. Which is funny because they mentioned not Twilight Zone, but well, I guess in a way they mentioned Twilight Zone, but I was going to say Scalpel is definitely, it definitely feels like a film that could be like those not anthology, holy crap, I am drunk, I can't think of what I'm saying. Not anthology, well, I guess anthology, because it feels like a Tales from the Crypt episode. Yes, Scalpel feels like a Tales from the Crypt episode, so it feels like, like a Twilight Zone episode as well. Yeah, okay, not anthology, but just like one of those one-off stories and stuff like that. If they took the story of Scalpel and truncated it down and got rid of a few things, they could definitely easily make it a Tales from the Crypt episode. The story of Scalpel has Robert Lansing as a doctor. He's a plastic surgeon. He plays Dr. Philip Reynolds. And his father-in-law has passed away, and he has given all his inheritance to Dr. Reynolds' daughter. And his daughter has run away because his daughter saw him murder her boyfriend because he was soiling her virginity, or I don't know. It's a Southern Gothic tale, so there's a lot of Southern class to it. And so she runs away. So Dr. Reynolds thinks the brilliant idea would be to take this woman that he finds on the street. Her face has been all banged up. She's a stripper, and she's got beat by her pimp or whoever. And he's going to reconstruct her face into his daughter's face, and then basically take the inheritance, and like he'll give half to her, and he'll take half. It's a brilliant idea. The only problem is Dr. Reynolds is a scumbag. He's a dickhead. He's like murdered his wife. He's murdered the boyfriend. He does not have any scruples. He will murder anyone that gets in his way, kind of thing. So at first I was like, you know what, this is a brilliant plan, whatever, his daughter ran away, so what, get the money. But as you learn his character, yeah, he's definitely a dickhead. Problem is that everything's going to plan, but then Reynolds' daughter shows up. His real daughter shows up. The other problem is that Reynolds has fallen in love with the woman. We'll call her Jane Doe, because that's her name in the movie. Jane Doe. He made her look like his daughter, and then he falls in love with her. Now, is it incest if the woman that you're sleeping with looks exactly like your daughter? You know what? I'm going to say yes. Yes, it is incest. You dirty, dirty, dirty man. Anyways, his daughter comes back, so he's like, well, shit. He loves his daughter, obviously. But now he's like, well, what am I going to do? My daughter's back, and I got this other woman that I'm sleeping with who also looks like my daughter. So then he has to think of something to do. I'm not going to spoil anything, of course. But definitely, yeah, Scalpel, I know, like I said, I know the cover and everything makes it look like it's a horror film, but it is not a horror film. It is a psychological thriller. It definitely does not, it doesn't feel long. It doesn't feel like a long film. It's 95 minutes. Plays out fairly quick. Yeah, I mean, I actually really enjoyed it. Like I said, it's kind of like a Tales from the Crypt kind of morality tale. The ending, I really love the ending because it puts everything into its place and really makes you root for what happens, the conclusion. Yeah, so I don't really know what to say besides that. I know a lot of people complained because they thought it would be a horror film, but it is not. It is not a horror film. As for the Blu-ray, it has been rescued from the VHS graveyard of terribleness, I guess. It is presented in 2 different versions on the Arrow Video Blu-ray. It is presented in one version, restored from 2K restoration, which was supervised by director of photography Edward Luckman, who's also interviewed on the Blu-ray. That definitely has it keeps the Southern Gothic tone warm. Everything's kind of a yellow. It's a really warm feeling film if you watch that transfer. I will show you a photo right here in a second that will show you the difference. I took it with my cell phone, so it's not perfect representation. They also provide the alternate Arrow Films graded version, which kind of removes all the yellow tone. And that is here. There you go. You can see the 2. There's the yellow. There's the other arrow. See? It's basically just the yellow is basically removed. Either transfer is really good. There is a little bit of degradation in some of the scenes look a little fuzzy, but overall it's a really crisp transfer. It is also original uncompressed PCM mono audio. I didn't have any issues with the audio. I felt everything was fine. Didn't have to turn up to hear dialogue. Like I said, there's not a lot of horror, like loud sounds or anything like that. It's a very dialogue-driven film. We have English subtitles. We have a brand new audio commentary by film historian Richard Harlan Smith. I'll be honest with you, I did not listen to it, but I'm sure it's very informative. There is an introduction by John Grismer, which is about 30 seconds. He doesn't really know what to say, much like this review. And yeah, that's about it. We also have a brand new interview with the director, which runs maybe like around 12 minutes. Pretty informative. We also have it's titled Dead Ringer. It's an interview with the actress Judith Chapman, who plays basically Heather and Jane Doe. She is still looking smoking hot. Yeah. That runs about 17 minutes, I think. These are all kind of estimates. And then we also have an interview with the director of photography, which also runs around the same time. They're all very informative. Judith Chapman, she kind of talks about the antics that happened on set and like the camaraderie between everyone that worked on it and all the Southern charm and stuff like that. So it was pretty cool. And then we have an image gallery and a original theatrical trailer and a reversible sleeve featuring original and newly commissioned artwork by Twins of Evil. This is the newly commissioned artwork. And this is the new, whoa, 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 whoa. There we go. What does that say here? Featuring original. Yeah, so that's the original. And actually, before I forget, it also includes a booklet, which is actually weird. It doesn't. Normally, Arrow Video mentions that the booklet is only included on the first how many editions, but it doesn't, so maybe it's included in all of them. I don't know. But this is it right here. This is the booklet. There, it actually includes an original article that was featured in Fangoria back in November 2008. And it talks a little bit about the transfer. Scalpel was exclusively restored by Arrow Films, presented an original 1:85:1 aspect ratio of mono sound. It also talks about not being able to find the original 35mm negative, but they found the color reversal. They scanned it at 2K. Instances of thousands of dirt and debris and scratches were removed. And then it talks about the two transfers, about how the original, which was supervised by the director, and then they kind of give you the alternate. And you can switch back and forth, which is kind of cool. That is it, as far as I can see. Oh, it also includes 20th Century Alchemy, John Grishmer's Morbid Melodramas by Bill Ackerman, which is new, which looks to be new for the booklet. Yeah, and Scalpel, a Slice of Death by David Konow was Fangoria. So that's it. So that is Scalpel. Not a horror film, but a psychological Southern Gothic thriller with some pretty cool twists and turns. And some kind of humorous moments. I actually really enjoyed it, and I think you'll really enjoy it if you give it a chance. Arrow Video has done a wonderful job with the transfer and with the Blu-ray release, and I think you'll like it. So I am actually going to end this review. I am going to try to chug this in the remaining time. 1, 2, 3. Go! It didn't work. It did not work at all. You can't chug out of this Montana boot. My shorts are wet.